My name is Jocelyn Jones and welcome to my art studio.
Due to the coronavirus pandemic, art classes in the studio are not possible at the moment. That's why I teach my art lessons online. You can follow along from home. We have some great creative art projects for you. Take a look at some of the examples.
Sign up for a free art lesson. Send an email to mail@studiojocelyn.nl.
Wow, so I was talking to Rohini and I learned that the only subject that she dropped was actually her art class. And what I thought was, well, maybe if she had a teacher like Jocelyn, maybe the art would have been a little bit more fun and interactive. Now, I want to remind you all again, we have the opportunity to ask questions live. So if you have any questions about any children's activities in The Hague, shoot them to us and we will come back in between the video breaks to answer your most pressing questions about children's activities. Rohini, what was your favorite topic, your favorite activity when you were here in The Hague as a kid?
I think my favorite activity would probably be food tech. In the British school, we did food technology and learned cooking and everything. But when I moved to ISH, the International School of The Hague, it didn't really offer it as a subject. But yeah, it was really exciting because you learn new ways of cooking. And my mom's actually a food technologist, so I think every time I'd bring food home, she'd always be excited about that. But I did not like art because I was never actually good at it. I mean, it was interesting learning about the watercolors and how to paint, but it wasn't exciting for me.
Food technology.
I don't think we have any videos on food technology this morning. Food tech. What was your favorite dish that you made during food tech?
My favorite dish would be risotto. I still make it to this day, like for my family. And we get given like a recipe and the teacher would help us. So I think risotto or cake. Yeah.
Sounds delicious. Now our next video this morning is the Girl Guides. I guess this is comparable to Girl Scouts if you were in America, but the Girl Guides of The Hague is our next video.
We just get to try loads of different things. I think that's what keeps us going back.
In Brownies we do lots of different activities. We go on like trips away on weekends.
I've got so many more friends now through Girl Guiding. Just enjoy like spending time with them and being able to kind of get out of the school frame of mind and be able to enjoy myself.
I've got a entertainer, swimmer.
I know that I would have never zip-wired if it hadn't been for guides. I know that I would have never abseiled in my life.
Cyclist, water safety.
We could make bracelets sometimes. When it's summer, we could go outside and play with parachutes.
Designer, artist.
Being in senior section has taught us a lot about working with new people and ways that we deal with different situations and do problem solving.
It gives you a chance to do things that you're interested in. You get more responsibility. You're able to choose what you want to do and you decide when you want to do it.
I've got more in the back.
We just had to like take lead and help out and just do loads of these different things. So I think I've gained a lot of confidence and become probably a more open person because of guides.
They accept you for your colour, your race, your religion, if you have no religion, whether you're disabled or not. I've seen a lady come down a zip wire in a wheelchair and go down an abseil tower.
My leaders are volunteers called Caroline and Emma, and they're both lovely because they support us so much and they're always just coming up with brand new ideas to make everything more exciting for us. Without volunteers it just wouldn't happen, because they really do make all the difference to girls.
Because there's only girls, you can relax and just be yourself and have fun instead of trying to outdo the boys or impress the boys and stuff like that.
It feels comfortable enough to discuss sort of controversial sort of issues that may be taboo. You feel you could discuss these things in a kind of a nice, accepting environment.
It's taught me to like think bigger. Like, it's not just about the small area that I live in. Like, I've been abroad with guides a few times, and you just get to do things that you wouldn't do without guiding.
Big Gig is a massive pop concert for guides. The atmosphere was amazing. I don't think I've ever seen that many glow-in-the-dark volunteers. There are some really, really amazing artists. I wouldn't have had the opportunity to go and see any of them without Big Gig.
I think it's a really accepting environment as long as you're here to have fun as a girl. Then yeah, it's great fun.
That was Girl Guides. Now, Rohimi, we were watching this video and you told me that you've also done a lot of those kinds of activities that you saw. Can you tell us about what you did while you were here?
Yeah, growing up in school, we'd go on different trips and activities, and one of them we'd do camping for a week or a few days. And whilst we were camping, we had to stay in tents and we had to do kayaking and rock climbing, and we had to learn how to actually set up the tents ourselves. And it was fun because I did it with friends, but I'm not really an outdoors type of person, so I would have rather done something more inside, yeah.
I was also a Girl Scout when I was younger, and the only thing I really remember from Girl Scouts is cookies. Anyways, the next topic that we are coming up from also triggered a childhood memory for me. I didn't mention this, but I grew up on a boat. And when we were moving back to the US from living in New Zealand, I wanted to learn how to write so that I would be totally up to date with everyone at school. So I learned how to write cursive, only to discover when I came to high school that no one there wrote in cursive. Now, I think times are changing because our next video that's coming up is someone who is teaching people how to write with calligraphy. So our next video is Zahara's calligraphy.
Hello family, friends, internautas, hello everybody. Welcome, thank you for being here. Today we are going to do something exciting. We will discover the fun adventures of handwriting. But before we start, materials need to be ready. And they are paper, yeah, and pen. Oh, my pen, where is is here, the spell, is here, pencil and eraser, it's very important, and the right grip, how to hold the pencil. As you can see in the picture, you hold your pencil between your thumb and the finger next to it, the index finger, the one you use to point. So, are you ready? I am ready. Let's start. The first step, we draw a line. Yeah. And if it's not straight, that is even better. So, our dance, yeah, our hands dances along the line. So, here, yeah, exactly, dances along the line. Yeah, as you can see, we do the other side. And what do you see? Is it a feather? Yeah, it is a feather. Yeah. So, we love to see photos of your feathers in my email or social media, via my website. Looking forward to see them. I'm curious. So that is for now, and I hope to see you the next lesson. Ciao, bye bye.
Welcome back, everyone. We have our first question from the audience, and the question is for Rohini. What is the best of growing up in The Hague?
Well, because I grew up in Nigeria, I grew up there for 10 years. There's quite a lot of differences. So one of the main differences I noticed was I can do more stuff here freely because there is not completely safe, so I'd have to be driven everywhere. But here, most people ride bikes. And I actually had to not learn how to ride a bike, but I had to learn how to properly, like sticking your hand out. We did that in school. I think I did it in year 6, and then I got a little certificate, which meant I could actually ride my bike properly. But I don't really ride my bike now because my school is 30 minutes or 40-minute bike ride from where I live. So I usually take the tram there. But I'd say the best thing about here in The Hague is just there's more activities you could do. Like I learned how to swim here, and I go to parks. They're like Downroll, which is quite near me in Wassenaar. Yeah, that's it.
You also told me you did rock climbing and karate?
No, kickboxing.
Kickboxing.
Yeah, I did kickboxing for I think 2 years, which was also fun, and I did hockey as well. I would suggest hockey if you like. It's a really good sport. And rock climbing, which was also on the school trip, but I thought that was really fun because it's not something you're used to, but you get pushed to it, and then so I actually like fun. Yeah.
Talking about pushing ourselves out of our comfort zones. Our next video is showing us about telling stories and being on stage. So without further ado, Stet storytelling.
The oldest profession in the world is storytelling. We've been doing it for thousands of years, sitting in caves around the fire. Well, I've been doing it for 20 years. My name is Sahande Sahebdivani, and I am a storyteller. In old Iran, ancient Persia, there is a king. And this king, Sam, he has 40 wives and 99 daughters. Now, he loves his daughters. They are beautiful, they are intelligent, they are hardworking. One is becoming a doctor, the other one is becoming an engineer, and so forth, and so forth. However, he would love to have a son. And now he hears that one of his wives is pregnant, the youngest, his favorite. And after 9 months of waiting with a lot of impatience, he hears, wah, wah, the kid is born. And he stands there behind the door, waiting to be let in. But the doctor appears and says, King, wait. You have a son, but there is something with the son. So King Sam says, something with my son? What's wrong with my son? Do I have a son with huge flappy ears? No, that's not it. Does he have 12 fingers? No, that's not it. Does he have elbows that bend the wrong way? No, King, listen. Your son is born with white hair. Now today we know that a kid with white hair, that's an albino, and there is nothing wrong with an albino. It just means putting on hats and not being in the sun too much. However, in the old days, Persian kings had no idea what an albino was. So this king, looking at his son, instead of being happy, thinks to himself, this son is a devil's kid. It's a monster. And he grabs the kid out of the arms of the mother. He goes out of the palace, sits on his horse, and rides up the highest mountains. And there he puts his kid on a rock to die. No water, no milk, no food, no blankets, no clothes, no nothing. So the kid lies there, and it's incredibly cold. On this side, he hears the wolves. On this side, he hears the owls, and his lips turn blue, and it's a miracle that the kid survives. But then the day comes, and the sun comes up, and at first that's nice, but it becomes really hot. I mean, it becomes so hot that the kid, the baby, now 2 days old, is sweating, and his lips go completely dry, but then a shadow appears, which is not the shadow of a cloud. It's the shadow of a bird, a huge bird, the Simurgh bird that lives in Iran and is so big that normally it hunts for horses and elephants. But now it sees a human kid and it thinks to himself, too small for me, but a nice snack for my babies. And it swoops down, grabs the kid, goes to the nest, and there 3 baby Simurgh birds are looking at the mother, and the water goes into their beaks as they look at the little delicious snack. A human kid with white hair that's put in the nest next to them. And the kid looks at the babies with big eyes, and to the mother, and to the babies, and to the mother. Well, looking at this cute kid, they can't eat him. They decide to raise him. They raise him as one of their own. Well, I mean, they teach him to climb, and to run, and to hunt, and which plants to eat, but flying, he doesn't have much talent for it. He also learns to speak, because these are magical birds, they know how to speak. And when he's 6 years old, he's so big and strong that he can wrestle all the mountain goats. And when he's 10, he can wrestle the leopards. And when he's 16, he can wrestle the bears. And at 18, he's a proud young man, broad shoulders, long flowing white hair reaching the ground. And at 18, his father, now an old king, of course was never rewarded with another kid. And he regrets putting his son in the mountains to die. So he sits on his horse, and he has flowers to take to the grave of his son. He has no idea that his son is still alive. So reaching the mountains, putting down the flowers, it's the bird that sees the king and realizes that the boy she's raised is a prince. So the bird Simurgh grabs the boy by the shoulders, flies him down, and puts him in front of the father. And the father, looking at the son, of course, recognizes him because of the hair. And he does what no Persian king has done before. He bows and he apologizes. And the boy, looking at the father, well, he takes his hand and he forgives him. The story I just told you is just a small part of this huge ancient book, the Shahnameh. It's a beautiful book that was written 1,000 years ago, and my father used to tell me stories from this book and his father before him. And when we moved to the Netherlands, it's one of the things that we brought with us. It's important to tell these old stories, that we don't forget them. Stories about fathers and mothers and grandfathers and grandmothers and dragons and princes. Stories about adventure, about fighting, but also forgiveness. And I hope that we will tell them for many years to come.
And we're back. Storytelling. Fascinating topic, very relevant for us right now. And Rohini and I were chatting about stories. And what kind of stories did your mom tell you when you were a little girl?
Well, my mom would make up stories and tell us it always had to do with a lesson at the end. But sometimes she'd buy us books to read. And I actually started writing my own small books, based on my own stories, because I was so interested in the story times and everything like that. And yeah, I remember growing up, we were told all the popular stories like Jack and the Beanstalk or the Tortoise and the Hare. And yeah, all the ones that had, my mom was more focused on the ones that had something to teach at the end. So,
do you remember any of the lessons that were taught at the end? I asked because I wish that my kids would also learn the lessons that are into the stories, but I don't know if they do.
Vaguely remember one of the stories was not meeting up with strangers or going with strangers. I can vaguely remember that. And also Little Red Riding Hood. I think that was one of the stories that had a lesson like that. So yeah.
All right, our next video is actually going to be about not storytelling and talking, but moving our bodies and dancing. All right, so this is Irish dancing.
Okay, hello everybody. My name is Sean Kilkenny. I'm here in the park with some of my dancers from the Kilkenny School of Irish Dancing, and we are going to show you a few simple steps that you can practice at home. Irish dancing always starts, it's well known because everybody has to hold their arms straight down. So we learn this by hands up, thumbs in, fingers in, arms by our side, and then we forget about them. Feet together, first position. We put our right foot in front and we point our toe. You can all practice this at home. Our basic step is called the jump 2 3s. That goes as follows. 1, 2, 3 behind. You watch the dancers. 1, 2, 3 behind. So you keep practicing that. 1, 2, 3 behind. 1, 2, 3 behind. Back we go, dancers. After that, you can try and jump them. So we have to jump the 3s, which means you raise your front foot and you lift the back foot, kick the bum. Jump 2, 3. Jump 2, 3, and jump 2, 3. We do that 8 times. Once you've practiced it, you will be able to do it to music. Music maestros. Now you can watch the dancers doing their jump 2, 3s to music. 5, 6. Jump 2, 3. Jump 2, 3. Jump 2, 3. Very good. Dance back to position. Second basic step is what we call the 7. That's where we dance to the side. Dance laterally, so the 3s are danced usually to the front or the circle. 7s are danced to the side. Again, heels together, right foot in front, point that toe, and to start we're going to hop. So because we have our toe pointed, we can only hop with that foot. Hop. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Now we're going to finish with our 2 jump 2, 3s, which we've just learned. Jump 2, 3, and jump 2, 3. You're going to stretch the front foot, We'll kick that bum. We're going to dance our side step to the left. Jump. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We've got this. Jump. 2, 3. Jump. 2, 3. Now we're going to watch the dancers do this to music. So you've plenty to practice at home. You're always welcome to come and join a class after lockdown. 5, 6, 7, 8. Heads up, girls. That's tall. Lovely. Thank you very much. Feel at home. Have fun. We're freezing here.
And we're back. Now, for me, it seems super awkward to be dancing with my arms next to my sides. The only thing that comes up for me is I try and get my kids to march in a line. Hut, 2, 3, 4. This is what I thought when he was saying 1, 2, 3. Do you ever do anything like that?
I don't think I've ever done. No, I don't think so. Most I've done is dancing, but not Irish dancing. I've never actually tried it either, so no.
Could be fun to try. I think especially if you're a kid, it's a fun way to get outside and move your body a little bit. Now, our next video is actually going to be interactive, so make sure you have pen and paper ready. We're going to have another video from Jocelyn's studio with how to draw. Welcome back, everyone. Now, that was kind of a lightning drawing lesson right there. I'm not sure I could have done it that fast. But Rohini, you also said the same as I do, that you have a mandala book at home that you draw in.
Yeah, I don't actually draw in it. I just color it because it's already pre-drawn. It takes up time, and it's like a calming to do in between work, schoolwork, and everything. So yeah.
Stress relief.
Yeah.
And speaking of stress relief, what are you looking forward to doing when we kind of open up a bit more and you're allowed to do things that you used to do here in The Hague?
Probably go out with friends. And I meant to have a senior trip in June, like after exams and everything. So hopefully COVID will be gone by then. So I could actually travel. We're meant to go to Greece. So that'd be nice.
Fingers crossed.
Yeah, and actually going to shops, like actually visiting shops or the theater and cinemas and the beach and restaurants. Yeah.
Speaking of the beach and restaurants, a couple years ago, I set up a meetup group for other parents, and the first meetup that we organized was out at the beach. And I thought, you know what? August at the beach. Beautiful. I researched one of the, the beach tents that you can have kids playing at next to you. And it happened to be one of these days in August, this was 2 years ago now, that it was gale force winds. It was so windy that the sand was like blowing into our faces. It was biting, it was cold. And as soon as we got out of the car, my kids started crying. And I thought, oh no. No one was going to come out in that weather. The only thing was, I thought, well, I have no idea. It's meetup, right? You don't know who's going to show up. So I had to panic and look for where else in The Hague could we go with little kids. And there are a lot of places that you can go in The Hague with kids. Look, granted, a little bit less with the restrictions that are on now. You've got from little kids, there's a place called the Boomhut. You've got a place called Koffie and Kind. You've got a place where you can do art with kids, kunst and kids.
Tricks like the trampolining place.
Trampolining.
Yeah, my brother did his birthday party there.
Yeah. My oldest has now been asking us if we can go again to Monkey Town or to the zoo or anything that's around here, because they're just so tired of being cooped up inside. So I know for me, I'm also looking forward to being able to do more stuff that when it's windy or rainy or stormy or hailing like it was yesterday, that we'll be able to go indoors and do some stuff, because The Hague has a lot of beautiful forests and dunes and great stuff you can do outdoors. You said you like doing stuff outdoors, right?
No,
where's your favorite place to go? No, indoors.
Indoors.
Sorry.
No, I prefer indoors. Indoors, my favorite place to go would probably be the cinema or restaurants. I'd usually always go to restaurants. Outdoors, probably just a park, and I'd probably just stay there. Or an amusement park, maybe, yeah.
And how's your Dutch, Rohini?
My Dutch? Well, because I've lived here for so long, I can understand Dutch fluently, but speaking it, not properly, because I speak English with my friends. I don't really have the practice. So I can sort of speak Dutch. I can speak basic Dutch to, like children, but I can't actually fluently speak Dutch.
Well, that's the way to start, right? Is actually with talking to other people, children's stories. I know when I moved to The Hague, it was actually really difficult, because here, the very first time I ever came here, we went to a fancy work party, and all the Dutch people that I met were so excited that they got an opportunity to practice their English, because the circle I was in were only Dutch people. But that's why I'm introducing this, because our next video is actually talking about our Dutch word of the hour.
Held. Held is a Dutch word for hero. Held was first used in 1250. In 1250, held used to mean brave warrior or dappere strijder. Every country has its own epic stories. An epos, which means epic, is an exciting story about the adventures of a heroic figure. An epos provides us with a glimpse into the history, traditions, and identity of a people or nation at that moment in time. Well, Greece has Odyssey, England has Beowulf, the Netherlands has... Which epos with Helden does the Netherlands have? Well, sadly none. we do not have our own heroic story. But we are lucky to have a lot of Dutch helden. Have you ever heard of Anne Frank? Or perhaps Willem van Oranje? Well, they and many more like them, they are Dutch helden.
We're talking about heroes. Now, our own personal heroes or superheroes, heroes are all around us. Romy, who's your hero?
Well, I'd say, because I watch a lot of the Marvel movies and all the superhero movies, because I've got a little brother, I'd say my favorite would probably be Batman. Yeah, I think he'd be the hero, if I had to choose one. What about you?
I like Batman.
Yeah?
There's a quote actually that says that always be yourself unless you can be Batman. Then be Batman. Our next video is actually more about sports. And we're going to go outside and do some football with the Total Football Club. And we're back. Romy, you told me that you actually put together a football team and played football as well when you were younger.
Yeah, in the British school, we didn't actually have a football team for girls, but there was a competition going on, so we made one like with my friends and everything, and we went to play against actual teams, like proper teams, but we came first place, so it was fun. It was fun because we all like sports, but we don't actually get the chance to do many sports. I think it was during winter then. But yeah, it was fun to actually just make a team and play with your friends.
And tell me how that works, because I've never actually played football here or soccer, right? Does it go all year round or is it just in the season?
Oh, we just did it for that one day because it was a tournament. So we played against I think 7 teams. And none of us, no girl in the team actually knew how to play football.
And you won.
Yeah. Yeah, I know.
That's fantastic. Now I see we have another video coming up, and that's also on Zahara's calligraphy. So we're going to go back into our handwriting skills.
Hello, hello, hello. How are you? Welcome. Yes, the second lesson. I want to start repeating, very important from the previous video. Can you guess what it is? Yes, exactly. Here it is. How to hold the pencil. As you can see in the picture, you hold your pencil between your thumb and the finger next to it. The index finger, the one you use to point. Okay, here we go. Today we are going to explore shape, pressure, and direction. The first shape is down and heavy. Pay attention while I will show you. Okay, the first example. Yeah, this is okay. Yeah, you can see with pressure, and we are going down. Okay, let's do together. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, one more time. Yes, you can see. And now let's do the second shape. The second shape is up and lie, and is not too much pressure. Yeah, let's try. Okay, 1, 2, 3. Yes, can you see? Yes. Maybe that. Yeah. 1, 2, 3. Yes. 1, 2, 3. Yes. And now let's combine the two shapes. Yeah. We do down and heavy with pressure. Okay? 1, 2, 3. Yes. Now up and light. Yeah. Maybe I should try new. Maybe you see it better. Let's see. Yeah. Okay. Now down and heavy. There it is. Now up and light. Yes. Yeah. So this is the combination. We can try, for instance, a line. We go. Yeah. Yes. Oh, up. Yeah. I will create a pattern here. Okay. So that is for now, for the second lesson, and I see you the next lesson. Bye bye, ciao.
And we're back in the studio. Not the handwriting studio, just the video studio right now. I had to laugh with Rahimi just now because her mom, Ebere, is sending us messages saying how much she's enjoying watching us. And at the same time, Ebere is trying to call us while we're live in the studio. And I'm laughing because as a mom, I can see myself in 10 years maybe doing this to my kids at a very inappropriate time. So thank you for not picking up the phone while we're in the studio, Rahimi. Now, I know you have a little brother, and he also does things in The Hague. So what sort of activities does your brother do?
Well, I know he does swimming. He's currently trying to learn how to swim. I'm not sure if he's actually learned that, but he does that at Overbosch. Do you know where that is? Like, it's near the British School of Vlaskamp. And, yeah, I'm pretty sure it's just swimming and probably just activities within his, like, school, probably.
Swimming and school activities. It's enough to keep you busy anyway, I think. Now, we had a question coming in that someone sent too quickly. So the question didn't actually come in. And I see that it is actually someone from my Toastmasters Club. What I haven't mentioned yet today is that I'm here on behalf of Toastmasters of The Hague. We are a public speaking group, so anyone who's a little bit nervous or would like to improve their public speaking skills, this is what we do. Every year we're at the fair and we help present. So you're going to see after this session, a different Toastmaster is going to come in for every hour and every program. And we are the presenters today, and we have an amazing support team here. Speaking of which, we're going to go into our next video from my amazing support team here, Gaelic football.
Remember how we practice, boys? Let's see what you've got. Oh dear. We have a lot of work ahead of us. Let's start with the basics. The solo run. In Gaelic football, you must solo the ball to move around the playing field. This is done by alternating between bouncing the ball and tapping it on your toe every 4 steps, as demonstrated here. This skill is extremely easy to practice at home. All you need is a ball, and it's fundamental to success and enjoyment of the sport. Once you get the hang of it, try running while soloing. Soon you'll be ready for your first game. The next fundamental skill we'll tell you about is the hand pass. The ball is passed from player to player using the fist or the palm of the hand. It's a very simple skill to master and can be practiced at home against a wall or with a partner. Slightly more advanced is the punt kick. It's a low kick used for passing and scoring. Punt kicks are used to pass the ball longer distances up the field, whereas hand passing is used to pass to players who are nearby. Both techniques can be used to score goals and points in a match. A fun way to practice and develop a combination of Gaelic football skills is by kicking, soloing and hand passing in an open space with a partner. There are many more skills to master in Gaelic football, but I think we've practiced enough basic skills to play a short match. Let's see if the kids have improved after all their hard effort. Nice point, Cian. Excellent solo run, Killian. So close. Well done, Nathan. Good goal. Good job, everybody. That was a big improvement. We hope we've given you a few ideas for passing the time while staying at home. But you can also come along and join us on Sunday mornings. We alternate training sessions between our home ground at Teverva Rugby Club in Escamp and Westbrook Park in The Hague. Check out our Facebook page, denhaaggaa.youth, for up-to-date information, or send an email to youthofficer.hague.europe@gaa.ie if you have any questions. Above all, remember, practice makes perfect.
I found myself wanting to yell, goal, there at the end. All right, we're coming towards the end of our session. It's flown by. I found it really interesting to just sit here and talk to you. We found out that it wasn't Rohimi's mom that was calling, but her little brother calling on her mom's phone.
Hi, Kunle.
Anyway, we're going to move right along into our last video of the morning, and that's one last one from Jocelyn's studio, and it's related to our upcoming holiday of Easter. So how to make an Easter bunny. Back live in the studio. Wow, that hour has just flown by. Rohimi, thank you so much for being here today.
Yeah, thank you for having me.
And that is it for our children's section. We are going to take a short commercial break, and we'll be back at 12:30 with our next section, which is sports.
close till I get up. Time is barely on our side. I don't wanna waste what's left. The storms we chase are leading us, and love is all we'll ever trust. Yeah, no, I don't wanna waste what's
to bring knowledge and tools
of our international city of peace and justice.
Today, I am a race car driver. Today, I am a giant.
Today, I am a master builder.
Today, I'm an explorer.
Today, I am a